everybody. Happy holidays. I hope you all had a lovely weekend so far. So today, we're going to talk about, and I apologize if you can't hear me. I keep pushing this microphone around and it keeps moving. So let me know if you can't hear me. But today we're going to be talking about me time. And what I mean by that is we've just made it through the largest part of the holiday season, and we've been making for so many people that it's okay to take a step back and say, hey, you know what? I wouldn't mind making something for myself for a change. So I have a whole bunch of ideas here that I think would make great me time projects. Hey, Nancy. So what I'm kind of looking at right now are projects where products that kind of help take care of you, and then projects that are a little bit more on the luxury side, a little fancier. And hey, Mom. Hey, Nancy. Hybrid knit along swatch. Oh, I hope you're having fun with that. So tonight I'm going to talk about a couple projects that I'm working on that I think are going to be super fun, and I highly encourage you to maybe work along with me. Hey, Gloria. And then Melanie and I are going to be playing musical chairs because there's some products here that she would like to speak about too. So we'll both be with you guys tonight. So let's get this party started. So the first product I want to talk about is something new. It's from Polka Dot Sheep, and it's called the Garnet Ghosts Cowl Kit. And I'm going to go off camera here just for a sec. So we got these guys in, I don't know, I think week before last. And they come in these nice Ziploc-like bags, so I can actually open them up and show you the product. Yay! Gloria says hi, Melanie. Melanie says hi, Gloria. So this is the Garnet Ghost Cowl. You know what? Maybe the picture on the back's better. So I actually started this a couple days ago, and so far it's a really, really fun knit. It incorporates lacework, circular knitting, and beads, which are three of my absolute favorite things when it comes to knitting things.
You're welcome.
So the kit comes with the instructions, a skein of the Iron Horse yarn by Polka Dot Sheep. Hey, Jody. And Iron Horse is a fingering weight. This is 75% merino, 25% mulberry silk, and there's 438 yards in here. Oops. And I'm just going to throw the yarn. This is a cowl, Nancy, and I will show you what I've done so far on mine in just a moment. So all of these kits are different colors. So this guy's called Nebula. And Melanie, I'm going to have you hold this up to the camera because I know I'm going to spill these everywhere if I try. And each kit also comes with a tin of beads to coordinate with the yarn.
If I can do this very carefully. They're like a mat type of bead?
Yeah, I think all of the remaining kits have a matte finish bead. And they are glass beads, I think.
Ooh, I did it.
Oh, that's okay. We'll find them all. I think they're a size 6-0 bead. Thanks for the hearts, you guys. You know what? We'll find them later. I think I know where they are.
Good.
So the kit comes with the instructions, the yarn, the glass beads, which come in this really cool polka dot sheep tin. And the kit is $52.99. I know, isn't the tin fantastic?
Great for stitch markers.
It will be awesome for stitch markers once you use all the beads in there. So that is the Nebula colorway, and I just pulled over two of these guys, and like I said, each kit we have is a different colorway. So this may be something we'll reorder in the future and take a little more time picking colors. Beads just prove the concept of entropy. This color here is Lavish, and Lavish is very much a fall colorway. Lots of burgundy, red, yellow, green in there. And the beads, we're not going to hold them up to the camera just in case, are a matte finish green.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
do you think you can do it?
Let's do one at a time. How about I trust myself with that?
Here, how about we do this?
Yes.
Those are pretty. But they are glass beads. They're a nice matte finish. And they match the green in that yarn so nicely.
There you go.
Thanks. And again, it comes in the cute little polka dot sheep tin. So I brought the one that I started a couple days ago, and I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be straight with you people. I messed up. But I like the way it looks, so I decided not to take it out and just keep going. Nancy, they are a matte finish green. And aren't those, the yarn and the beads is fantastic.
Oh, Nancy, yes. I bet she's eyeing those for some beaded socks.
Oh, maybe. So I did make a mistake, but because I like the way it looks, I decided just to keep going. So once again, like I say in all my classes, those patterns are not written in stone. If you want to change them, change them. So this is what I have so far. And Melanie.
So this one has a shinier bead.
That one does have a nice iridescent shiny bead to it. And for those of you who have not knitted or crocheted with beads yet, I highly recommend it. It is a ton of fun, and it is such an easy way to add a little pizzazz to your project. So this particular project, so there are two different ways that you can put beads in your knitting or crocheting. You can string them on your yarn, which honestly I never do unless the pattern specifically calls for me to string the beads on the yarn. Which color, Nancy? Was it the matte green one that you're asking about? The matte green one is called Lavish, and the one with the matte kind of purple beads was Nebula.
I also included a link to the shop on our website.
Okay. Melanie also put a link to the Fiber at 4 category?
Yes.
Okay. So Melanie did put a link to the Fiber at 4 category in the comments. And yes, Nancy, that's what I was about to say. The best way I think to put beads in your knitting is with a crochet hook. So a little tip and trick for that is you want a super, super tiny crochet hook. You need a crochet hook that you can put in the bead, but still be able to catch your yarn with. So I've got my little tin of beads here, and I'm just going to pull out one in case I drop it. So what you need is a crochet hook that will fit through the hole in the bead like that. And what we mean by using your crochet hook is, oops, I need to knit that stitch first and then I'll put a bead on it. So I'm coming to my next stitch on my knitting project, and I already have my bead on my crochet hook. So I'm going to take my teeny tiny crochet hook and pull the next stitch I need to knit into, so the next stitch on my left hand needle, off the needle and onto the crochet hook, and then catch the yarn with the hook. And I apologize, I know it's kind of hard to see. And then you pull the yarn through the bead on the hook, and then put the stitch back on your left hand needle. And then I knit into the back of that stitch so that the bead really pops out of my work. So the reason I like this better than stringing the beads on the yarn is because it actually pulls the stitch up through the bead, so the bead kind of wraps around the stitch, so it's equally visible on both sides. Whereas when you string them, which is, it's just fine if you want to do it that way, you kind of have to play with the bead to get it to pop through on whichever side of your project you want it to pop out on. So by doing it this way, it's around the stitch and not around the yarn that you're wrapping with. And I see I have another question. Yeah, Nancy said she has some circa 1960s steel hooks that have a really long, narrow throat, and they are actually a size 9, made in the USA. This hook that I'm using is also a size 9. I think I inherited this either from my mom or my grandmother, and it works fantastic. We do have some steel crochet hooks here that have the rubber handle on them, but because of the long, narrow neck, they will still work because you can still get the bead on them. So that is just a really super, super quick tutorial on how to knit with beads. And I'm going to put this back over here. But you don't necessarily have to use beads in a super fancy project. Even if you've got something that's just plain stockinette or plain garter stitch, beads are a really quick and easy way to just add a little spark to your project. I can stack about 5 beads on them at a time. Yeah, those hooks are fantastic. So if you're looking for a steel crochet hook, that one that I was using was a size 9, and it works really, really well. It fits through the eye of the bead, and it still is large enough to catch the yarn when you're pulling the bead down on that. So again, using beads in your knitting and crocheting is very, very, very fun, especially for those of us who like shiny things. So the next suggestion I have for a me time project, and I see Nancy said something else. Oh yeah, Nancy has put beads on the legs of socks. That is fantastic. That's, again, a really neat way to add spark to your socks. So the next me time project I would recommend is make yourself a sweater. We've been knitting for everybody this holiday season, so how about taking a break and making yourself a really nice sweater? So this is a new kit that we have. This is the Chiara, it's spelled C-H-I-A-R-A pullover. And this is a colorwork sweater that was designed by Amy Christoffers at Barocco. And let me just pull this picture out so you guys can take a better look at it. Isn't that gorgeous? I am in love with this sweater, and I may make it for myself one of these days. Little closer, thank you. So this sweater is made with the Barocco Dolce yarn, which is a DK weight yarn. And the sweater kit itself comes in a nice nylon bag so you can keep your project all together in one place. And there is enough yarn in this kit to make anywhere from a size extra small to a size extra large. So for those of you who need a smaller size, you have enough yarn left over to make a matching hat, a matching cowl, or mittens. Yes, thank you, Melanie. So this particular colorway is the silver, the onyx, and the sapphire. So the Barocco, this kit is $134.99, but it comes with all the yarn, the nylon bag, and we will upload the pattern to your Ravelry account. And if you want, we can also print it for you too. So the Barocco Dolce yarn, I didn't put the yarn itself in the shopping category this week, but I did pull some out so you guys can take another look at it. So this, again, is a DK weight yarn. It's 50% cotton, 20% nylon, 16% alpaca, and 14% wool. And I love, love, love this yarn because the center of it is kind of this cool braid with different colors in it. And then the halo is a solid color. And honestly, if I were making this sweater, what I would use is the silver, the onyx, and the purple. I know, shocker, purple. But actually the purple is such a fantastic color. It's a nice bluey purple.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
But I like the two neutrals with the pop of color in it. And obviously you can switch that up and do 2 colors with a pop of neutral. So the Dolce itself on its own is $13.99 per skein, and you're getting 175 yards. Those would be beautiful together. I know, aren't those great? And what's really cool is even if you decide to make just a sweater with one color of the Dolce, because of the colored braid in the middle of the yarn, it kind of has a very subtle self-striping effect to it. So this is amazing yarn. So the yarn itself is $13.99 per ball, and then the full kit for the Chiara pullover is $134.99 with all the yarn, the pattern, and the nice nylon zippered bag. Okay, this next product I am so excited about. When the FedEx guy came through the door with this box the other day, I think he thought I was going to run him over. I was so excited to see it. So this is the Gingersnap Hat Kit, and this is brand new. This is from Universal Yarn, and it uses the Deluxe Worsted Tweed Superwash. And the reason I was so excited about this is because it is 3 different hats, 3 different hat patterns with the 3 different colors of yarn. And there's enough yarn in here to make all 3 hats. So you've got the pattern, you've got the yarn, and they've also sent a nice cotton bag in here to keep it all in. So this is $44.99, and I actually bought one of these myself. I just haven't had a chance to start it yet because I wanted to do the cowl first. Typically we do not mob the FedEx and UPS drivers, but you know, sometimes we just get excited, and they're such nice guys anyway. It's so nice to say hi to them anyway. So, but I was excited to see the universal box come through the door. So again, that kit is $44.99. It has 3 balls of the deluxe worsted tweed superwash, and these come sealed from the manufacturer, but I want to say that it's mostly an acrylic yarn. So this would be a great yarn for making hats for the kiddos or people who may not necessarily know how to properly care for a more expensive yarn. But I am so excited about this, and as soon as I start this, I will be sending pictures to our social media guru to post on Facebook so you can watch my progress as I make all 3 of these guys. But I'm really, really excited about this. And speaking of universal, this is one of my favorite kits, and I think this is a great me time project. It is a really fast crochet, and it is the Japanese knot bag. And this actually utilizes a half double, which you don't really see used very often. Actually, Andy and I were having a discussion the other day about how you don't really see the half double crochet used very much in projects, and we're out to kind of change that, because the half double, I think it's just as sturdy as a single, but it is a little bit taller, so your work comes out a little bit faster. Plus, I like the appearance of it because it kind of looks like half a flower, because you're pulling your yarn through all stitches at the same time.
This looks like a project bag to me.
Melanie, if you couldn't hear through the mic, she said it looks like a project bag to her, and I think, Melanie, this would make a fantastic project bag for your socks.
Yes!
Because it is a smaller bag.
I totally agree.
And Melanie just said she agrees, so... This is actually a raffia yarn, so it's kind of almost like working with a paper, and it's just a really fun project. Okay, Nancy said she doesn't use the half double unless she's binding off a sweater. Yep, it's definitely utilized in binding off, and just it's a nice sturdy little stitch, and honestly I think it's really pretty. So I think using it in a project like this is it's a good use of the stitch. So the Japanese knot bag we have in 2 colors. So this is the black and multicolored colorway. And the kits are $44.99, and it comes with enough of the raffia yarn to make the bag, and it also has the instructions. And we also have it in aqua and multi. What's the raffia yarn called? Good question. Gosh, you know the price sticker was over the name of the yarn. Yashi Iro. And Yashi is Japanese for palm tree, which is where the raffia fiber comes from. So I didn't know that. That's really cool. But this is also another universal kit. Same with the Gingersnap hats. If you ever use a universal kit, you guys will realize they are extremely generous with how much yarn they pack in their kits. Typically, they pack more than enough yarn in these kits to make your project. I know I used every inch of the black raffia yarn when I made this, but guys, also keep in mind I crochet very, very tightly, so I go through yarn pretty quick. But yeah, we've done some of their cowls and stuff, and they pack so much yarn you can make a couple yarn. I wouldn't be surprised if with the Gingersnap hats you could probably get a 4th hat out of these 3 balls. So again, the Japanese knot bag is $44.99. It comes with all the raffia you need to make it and the instructions. All right. I know it's such a
bag too.
It could be a little beach bag, you know, in a landlocked state.
Great sand dunes.
Oh yeah, great sand dunes. There you go. Problem solved. The next project I have, this is another polka dot sheep kit, and I'm really excited to have polka dot sheep back in the shop. This is the 2nd Street hat kit, and this would be a super nice me time knit project because it is a bulkier weight yarn, so it's going to work up super, super fast. And I have to without showing too much of the pattern.
Oh,
Isn't that an adorable doggy?
Oh,
I think that's a Boston Terrier. Isn't he handsome? So this kit, excuse me, comes with the printed pattern, and it's on a nice piece of cardstock. And then it comes with one skein of the bulky weight yarn. This is called Big Sky Bulky, and it is 100% superwash merino, and there's 106 yards in here. And then it also comes with the faux fur pom. So those look nice together. And then these have the nice long ties in them, so you would just string it through the top of your hat, tie it, and then when you go to launder it, just untie it and pop the pom out. So this kit is $47.99, and we have 5 of these guys, and they're all in different colors again. So this colorway was called Tupelo Honey. It does look like honey, doesn't it? And then this guy is called Silver Bow, and Silver Bow is this very lovely silvery blue bulky weight. And it is definitely a tonal, so it's not a solid, so you get a little bit of the differentiation in the color there. And then this one comes with a super cool blue with kind of white tipped pom-pom. Such a fun project. I may have to make this once I get my Gingersnap hats done. Oh, pretty. Thanks, Nancy. And they are even prettier in person. I love polka dot sheep yarn. Again, this is another thing, if you've never worked with polka dot sheep, I highly, highly recommend it. I've worked with the bulky weight, and it works up really nice. It knits beautifully, it crochets beautifully, so can't say enough good about polka dot sheep. So that again is $47.99 for the printed pattern, the pom, and the bulky weight yarn. Okay, next on my to-do list after I finish my cowl, my hats, and other stuff I have going is Snoopy.
Yay! I love peanuts.
I love peanuts too. And anybody who knows me knows how much I love Snoopy, especially when he dresses up as the World War I flying ace with his little aviator helmet and scarf. So this is a Stitch and Story kit, and I just finished the Hello Kitty reindeer, and I can tell you that these kits are absolutely awesome. They come with all the yarn you need. They come with a really nice wooden hook. They come with the instructions, the stuffing, a darning needle, and they also have online tutorials, so if you get stuck on the pattern or have a question, they have a lot of good resources to look back at. And they give this a level easy kit, so it's a simple guy. So there's Snoopy. Isn't he cute? And Snoopy, I think, I haven't started him yet, but I think he's going to turn out to be about yay big. The hook that it uses is a size US 7. And so the yarn is about, I would say, a light worsted, probably a heavy DK, and it is crocheted, Nancy. So, yeah, I love Stitch and Story kits. They are a blast. We also have some of their knit kits. So these are, I can promise you, because I've used them myself, that these are very wonderfully made kits, very clear instructions, and just fantastic. Just a fantastically fun kit. And you can see right there on the tag everything that Snoopy comes with.
Does it also come with a bamboo crochet hook?
Yeah, it does come with a bamboo crochet hook.
That's cool. I don't see those too often.
Yeah, I actually, when I made the Hello Kitty kit, I will admit I started out with the wooden hook, but I find that personally, the wooden hooks kind of slow me down a little bit, so I ended up just switching back to my normal metal size 7 crochet hook. So again, personal preference. If you like the wood, work with the wooden hooks. They are fantastic. They're just not what I personally prefer.
Would you find that it would be good for a beginner to kind of...
Absolutely. Yeah, these would be great beginner kits. Both these and the Toft kits are amazing for beginner crocheters. So highly, highly recommend. Nancy, let's see here. Haven't crocheted toys since about middle school age. They are a lot of fun to make. I love making crocheted toys. One of these days I will have someone to give them all to, but my house is absolutely filled with them. But yeah, also I've got tons of crocheted toys here at the shop. I've got 2 dragons here. I've got Hank the snowman in the window and the Hello Kitty reindeer, and there's going to be more to come. I can promise you that. So That is Snoopy, and Snoopy is $64.99. And again, you've got the yarn, the hook, the stuffing, the darning needle, the instructions, and also a lot of video references in case you do get stuck on the pattern. These are from England, so it is going to be UK terminology. So again, when they say double crochet in US terminology, that is going to be a single crochet. So keep that in mind when you're making this. That completely rocks. I know, Snoopy's awesome. I love Snoopy. So looking more again at kind of the luxury type fibers as kind of a me time sort of thing. I picked luxury fibers from every yarn department that we have here. So I'm going to start with the lace weight yarn. And I'm going to show you the Shibuya Lunar. We've been looking at the Silk Cloud for the past couple weeks because it's Cheryl's favorite. It's fantastic to hold double with another yarn. So I figured tonight we should look at the Lunar. Lunar is, again, lace weight yarn. It is 60% ultrafine merino and 40% mulberry silk. And for those of you who are nervous about working with a lace weight yarn, I would recommend starting out with the Lunar because it's not your typical lace weight. It doesn't have the halo to it, so it's easier to recognize where your stitches are. So this would be a good introduction to using lace weight yarn. So I brought over here with me velvet, crete, and a nice neutral. This is ash. Believe it or not, I do love the purple, but I am crazy about this crete color. It's a very lovely, it's almost turquoisey blue, but it doesn't have a lot of green to it. It's very, very pale blue. It's really pretty.
We actually had a weaver come in to use 3 of those skeins, actually similar colors, for a woven scarf.
Oh, nice. So in case the microphone didn't pick up Melanie, we actually just had a weaver come in and pick up some of this Lunar to do actually similar colors to do a woven scarf. Was it rigid heddle or rigid heddle? Okay, cool. Cricket, awesome. So the Lunar is $18.95 per hank, and again it's 60% extra fine merino, 40% mulberry silk, and there are 401 yards per hank. And we do have a lovely store sample here. This is Beginner's Lace Scarf, and it is by Sarah Greer, and it is on Ravelry. And the Lunar just shows that lace pattern off so beautifully, and the drape is just fantastic. So I think this would make a great winter scarf because it's got the warmer fibers to it, but it has this amazing drape. Oops, putting it over the microphone. So this would be great for more dressy occasions, or you could totally dress it down. But it's a lovely, very, very soft yarn, and it's just a great lace weight yarn. So don't be scared to try a lace weight yarn. Oh yeah, Nancy says it's really lovely worked up and it's a lovely weight. It's very lightweight, but you can feel it just holding it, how warm it would be. Let's see here, I think this took 1 skein on a size 3 needle. So not a terribly small needle. I mean, it's smaller than a worsted weight needle, but it's not like a size 0 or 000, so.
It'll make fingering weight seem like it'll fly by.
Oh yeah, this is great. Your best fingering weight needle too is a size 3. So that is, again, the Beginner's Lace Scarf. It is on Ravelry and it's by Sarah Greer, Greer. And that just takes 1 hank of the Shibuya Lunar. And I think it would look lovely out of the crate. So moving on to one of my absolute favorite fibers, and I think this is one of Cheryl's favorites too.
Ooh, it's a popular.
So this is the Apothete Merino Silk, and I'm sorry, but when I think luxury, I think silk. So this is one of her new colors. This is called Rugged. These are $38 per hank. There are 436 yards in a hank, and they are a 70-30 merino wool silk blend. We'll have Melanie hold that up a little closer. These are made with eco-friendly acid dyes, and this is definitely a hand wash only yarn. You do not want to put this in the washing machine. But Cheryl has used this for double knitting, right, Cheryl?
Yes.
Yes, it was the Snowflake Cow.
Girl.
Yeah, Snowflake Girl.
Which is coming up.
Oh yeah, the double knitting class is coming up. So this one is a Welcome Breeze. And we've had this color in the shop before, but this last batch she dyed turned out a little bit brighter, a little bit more blue. The older batch was a little bit more creamy white on the base, so this came out a very lovely, lovely blue.
Love that one.
And this makes excellent shawls. And the shawl I made with this has beads in it. And this is an oldie but a goodie. This is called Blustery, and I think it's a good combination of fall and winter colors. You've got the cold colors, the blues and the purples, with the fall colors, so you've got your golds and your burgundies in there. And
this is a new colorway for her.
It is one of her newer colorways, yeah. It's very lovely. I think this is another one, honestly, I think would go great with any skin tone because it goes across the board, warm and cold colors.
Ooh.
So I think this color would look good on anybody.
Matches your hair, too.
I know, it does match my hair. So that is the Apothete Merino Silk. Again, this is a fingering weight yarn, and it's $38 per hank for 436 yards. And Melanie and I are going to play musical chairs real quick because she loves the next product and she wants to talk about it. So here we go.
Okay, thank you. I'll do a quick mic change. Hey, everybody. I'm sure Christianna has let you know that we are having a little fake mic clip thing, so hopefully that stays on. Hi, everybody. Hope you guys are doing so well, and I hope you're as excited about me time as I am. Hannah and I are jokingly saying that we are doing the self-indulgent knit-along starting in January, so all of these would be a great project to be a little self-indulgent, you know, have some hot chocolate and knit on a project that's just for you. So the next one I want to talk about is near and dear to my heart because I absolutely love Jennifer Miller, and I've had the chance to help her work on some of her dyeing and skeining and just getting to know a little bit more about her process. So the one we wanted to highlight today is hand-dyed here in Longmont, Colorado. In fact, a couple streets down from me. She happens to be a neighbor. And this is the Palladio. Palladio is a 75% superwash merino, 15% cashmere, 10% silk, and it comes with 410 yards. It's a fingering weight, and these are hand dyed, and she does these in small batches. So you do want to anticipate some variation in your colorways. These two, this one is called Summerfield, and it retails for $40. And this one has some really beautiful light pops of colors and some really rich saturated purples. This looks like a jump in the beautiful blue sea, or like maybe a beginning of a sunset. And this would be a fantastic skein of yarn to make a beautiful shawl, something that you really want to show off. It has a bit of that shine that we're used to seeing with her oxynometer, but it has just that touch of silk that's giving it a beautiful shine to it. And then we also have Starry Night for all of our Van Gogh lovers out there. This one has some beautiful, rich, sort of earthy, I want to say like an ochre color, some bits and pops of yellow, and it's just really, really beautiful. So what I love about Jennifer's stuff is you don't have to have a complicated pattern. You can really let the colors show, and it is such a fun yarn to work with because you get to those little bits of interest, that pop of color, and it makes you so excited. It's like what I call, or the Knitmore girls call, potato chip knitting. Like you just have to knit one more row because it's so much fun. So try out Palladio if you've got a beautiful but maybe like a simpler pattern shawl that you wanted to get going on the needles. This is going to look stunning and be nice and cozy. All right. Can I talk about Dream in Color next? Okay, I have to snag this one because this is a decadent yarn. Like you feel this in your hand and you're like, oh, smoosh, it's so good. This Bermuda Teal is a Cosette, which is our DK weight luxury yarn. And this one has 70% superwash merino wool, 20% cashmere, and 10% nylon. So it's going to have that nice luxury feel, but with that nice bit of strength. Gosh, this would be a stunning sweater. And I know we've got some teal lovers out there. If I showed this to Teresa, I'm sure she'd snap it up. But this is absolutely beautiful. This is Cosette by Dream in Color. I'll save that one for last because I love it so much. This is called Kyoto Sunset. Oh, that is beautiful. I went to Kyoto about 10 years ago, and this is just beautiful. There's light blues and beautiful golds and earthy hunter greens, some pops of red. Like, this is just a fun one. I think this would make a really stunning hat, actually. Kyoto Sunset, and this is called Naked Shame. And this is a really, really golden orange and yellow. This reminds me of like a harvest colorway. It's so cozy. You just want to wrap this color up on you. And you can do that with this beautiful shawl that Christianna, I believe, knit. The pattern is called The Way from Brighton. And we have kits of this shawl if you fall in love with it. It uses the Dream in Color Cosette DK. And it uses a little less than two... No, we don't have kits. Christiana's giving me a very confused look. I take that back. But you can make your own kit. The Way from Brighton shawl is on Ravelry, and with a little less than 2 skeins and a size 7 needle, you can make this beautiful shawl. And I'm about 5 feet, just over 5 feet tall, so it's got about 5 feet in length in that wingspan. I love to wear it bandana style this way. But you can just see those colors are so interesting. You don't need to have a complicated pattern. You let that yarn just shine, and this would look so beautiful. I love these little tassels. These are not baubles. It's not a picot edge. What would you call this, Christiana?
They actually are baubles.
These are baubles? Ah, okay. So a cute little fringe bauble on the end there. Very nice. All right. Am I tagging off, or am I going on?
I can take over if you want.
All righty. And we'll do our quick change here. I will see you guys soon for a couple more items.
Yay, thank you, Melanie. One of these days we need to find a better clip for this thing. So just another quick note about the Way from Brighton shawl is this is very adjustable. This is the length that it was written for. But what you do is you do one of these bobble edges first, and she has you do 38 of the tassels. But if you want to make it larger, you just increase the number of tassels that you have on the edge. And this utilizes short rows, and you make more tassels up the other edge as you knit along. So you do the tassel edge, you pick up the stitches, and then you go this way. It's a really fun project. And like Melanie said, this shows off the Dream in Color so well because it's not a solid. This is definitely a tonal. And this pattern has a lot of interest to it, but it's not a very difficult pattern. So it lets the yarn really speak. So fun yarn to work with. Yay, hearts, I love hearts. Ah, I dropped the microphone. I definitely need to find a better clip for this because I know I'm going to do that again. So the next yarn I wanted to show you guys, this is definitely a luxury I'm spoiling myself yarn. This is the Shibuya Haven, and we have shown this in the past, but we just got 3 new colors of it. So we still have the nice neutrals that we carried before, which are the lighter grays, the darker grays, the black, and the navy blue. But we just brought in Velvet, which is the purple, Paprika, which is this lovely kind of reddish orange, great fall tone, and then Pollen. Pollen might look familiar to you guys because they also make it in the Lunar and the Silk Cloud. So Haven is a DK weight yarn. This is 80% extra fine merino and 20% cashmere. There are 160 yards per hank, and they are $25 per hank. So again, the newer colors are Velvet, Paprika, and Pollen. And a great idea for this yarn if you don't want to make a sweater but would prefer to make an accessory. This is the Repose Cowl, and this is very luxurious. It is big. It is warm. This is this will keep you warm through the below zero weather that we eventually may get one of these days. Who knows? So we do have kits of the Repose cowl. The kits feature the Haven yarn in the main colors in the stripe. And then we use the Manos de Uruguay Bocado for the pop of color. Thanks, Melanie. Because the Bocados only have about 60 yards, 70 yards. So you just need a little bit for that pop of color around the edge and where you graft the cowl together. So I would almost call this an infinity scarf instead of a cowl because it's so big. But we do have kits of these guys. So it comes with the Haven yarn and then the Bocado for the pop of color. So the kits are $159.99, and I believe there are 6 skeins of Haven, 5 or 6, and the 1 Bocado and the printed pattern. So this guy is the Noir Tar Turmeric color. So turmeric is this color right here, and then you've got the black and the dark gray in here for the body of the cowl. So that's just one colorway of the Repose cowl. So again, $159.99. And you can make this absolutely huge, absolutely wonderfully soft cowl out of that. Alrighty, it's time to play musical chairs again. So here's Melanie. If I can get the microphone off.
Okay. Repose cowl. Ooh, okay. Next one. I am very excited about because, as you may or may not know, I have a bit of a thing for sock knitting. And I have had a couple of our lovely customers pick up some of this Noro Silk Garden to make some chunky socks, and it has inspired me. So Silk Garden is, again, by Noro, which is a fan favorite and a staff favorite because it's just such a lovely, high-quality yarn to work with. This is our worsted weight Noro, and it has 45% silk, 45% mohair, and 10% wool. And I have been really curious about trying a worsted weight sock with these. I love the changing colors. I think it would hold up really nicely, and I think it would be nice and cozy. So these come with 100 meters. They're 50-gram balls. And let's see here, they retail for $15.99, and we've got a couple of really beautiful colors. These are cooler tones. We also have some warmer tones as well. I'm sure we're going to get some fun color names like Color 470. And this one has just some beautiful aqua blues and greens. Love it. Color 395, purples. This I think would also be a really nice one to nice worsted weight weaving project as well, because that silk is going to be nice and strong. You could use this for your warp and weft, and you've got that really interesting color change. And color 471 has like minty cool colors with little bits of purple and charcoal grays, and that does look white. Yes, that's a bit of white in that charcoal. So a really nice worsted weight option from Noro to give you that silk fix, but still nice and cozy with the mohair and wool. So that's Noro Silk Garden. And then we also have in our bulky department, super cozy, and if you are potentially interested in doing our Cocoa Knit Sweater Workshop book, this could be a really cozy option for you as well. This is a yarn from the Fiber Company. This is decadent, like you feel it and you're just like, oof. So we've got 4 beautiful colors for you. This one has an excellent colorway name. This is how I shop for nail polish and yarn. This is the Sugar Plum Fairy. Retails for $29.99, and Tundra is a warm and lofty blend of baby alpaca, merino wool, and silk. It's 60% alpaca, 30% wool, 10% silk. Very, very cozy. One of this would make a delicious hat. It would easily make a very cozy cowl. And even a 2-color cowl with this would just be really beautiful. So this nice natural color is called Snowdrift. Very pretty teal called Boreal. Boreal? Boreal?
Boreal.
Boreal. And this one's probably my favorite because it has a sort of iridescent purple pink. And this is called, Allium? Allium. And the camera is not doing this one justice. It has a beautiful, like purples and light blues. Like this really just shines in person. So please come and check this one out and give it a good squoosh. Allison, hey Allison, love the aqua and greens and of course purples. You've developed a purple clan here. I love it.
I'm a bad influence.
And we have a couple of samples of the Tundra. Ooh, missed one. Ooh, this is a really pretty charcoal gray. And this one is called Petrol. Love it. So squishy and soft. Whenever customers come in and touch it, they're like, ooh, that is nice. So we have a couple of samples from the fiber company. So some great pattern ideas for you. This one is called Rosta, R-O-S-T-A, designed by Rachel C. Brown. And the pattern name is called Nordlanda, Nordlandda. And it uses 2 hanks of the Tundra in the colorway Taiga, T-A-I-G-A. This one uses buttons, which is always a fun design element. It looks like it's knit flat, like a rectangle. It has 2 pretty cables along the edge, and then you can pop these open while you're wearing it like a cowl. Really like this. And the buttons you can just change up and make it your own. So that's a great cowl made out of Tundra. We also have some really nice long cabled mitts, and these are really cozy if you want to have a nice long mitt for cross-country skiing or walking around in the cold. These are going to keep you nice and cozy. I love how long it comes down. Some people, if you're working around the house late at night in the winter, it's also really nice to have these like before bed, and maybe you're reading or knitting or something. Bye, Cheryl. So these mitts are called Heggela, H-E-G-G-E-L-I-A, also designed by Rachel C. Brown. And this uses 2 hanks of Tundra and Pinkberry. So great idea for you. Okay. I'm going to pass off the mic so Christianna can talk to us about Istec wool blankets.
Here we go again. Okay, I think it's on there. So just a kind of closing note about the Tundra. We do have a trunk show from the Fiber Company right now, featuring several pieces from the using Tundra. We've got accessories, we've got a sweater, we've got some hats. So we have it through the end of the year. So if you want to come take a look, I would recommend doing it this week because I believe we have to ship it back on the 3rd. But the Tundra it's such a fantastic yarn. It works up so quick. So the Allium, if you've seen the Road to China light version of this color, exact same thing. It's kind of the grayish bluish base with the nice lavender halo to it. So if you've seen this color in Road to China light, it's the same exact color. And those are $29.99 for 120 yards. And again, the fiber content, like Melanie said, was 60% alpaca, 30% wool, and 10% silk. So this is a very, very luxury, very lovely fiber. So if you really want to treat yourself, another thing that I think of about me time is cuddling up in a nice cozy blanket. So we have in stock one Istex blanket. These are 100% wool and they are dry clean only. It is 110 by 170 centimeters, so I want to say it's a pretty big blanket, and it's got some lovely fringe on it. This is the only one we have in stock, so once it sells out, we don't have any more. This is it. And this is different from their typical blankets. It looks like it was woven on a rigid heddle. It's really cool texture. And this is a lovely teal and green, and it is really soft, and these blankets are super, super warm. So that is $199.99 for the Istex blanket. And lastly, I want to talk about a little bit kind of self-care items. We've brought in these amazing lotion bars, and these are actually Andy's favorites. She and I were talking about it, and we're both kind of struggling with dry skin right now because of the weather and because we're having to wash our hands so much due to COVID. She loves these lotion bars because they keep her cuticles nice and soft, and the lotion's just really, really good for your skin, especially when you have to wash a lot. So Melanie, do you still want to talk about these lotion bars?
I do.
Okay, we're playing musical chairs again. I will be back.
Okay, I had to snag the lotion bars from Christianna because these we brought in from a local regular customer. So some of you may know Chris G. If you come to Tuesday Handwork from 1 to 3, she is just a lovely, fantastic person. She lives in Loveland, and I believe she used to have a shop of her own, but she made these for our hygge boxes. So it was a really special project that we brought in, and when I was using my sampler, I'm like, this is fantastic. We have to bring these into the shop. And she was absolutely lovely and made some more for the shop. So if you love these, let us know, because I would love to keep them. They have, her company is called Infused with Light, and they're made in Loveland, Colorado. It's a lotion bar and the tin that retails for $10. We've got a couple of scents. This one in my hand happens to be lemon vanilla. And it has beeswax, cocoa butter, grapeseed oil, shea butter, mango butter, vanilla, and coffee essential oils. So I love a great tin. So when you're done with your lotion bar, you can use these for stitch markers. The top of the tin is clear, so you can actually see what's in here. Maybe you put scissors or a tape measure, but the lotion bar itself has a cute flower design detail on the top, and it's sprinkled with something delicious that smells so good. You want to eat this. I'm a coffee and chocolate lover, and that's kind of the blend that it smells like. It's so, so good. We also have an unscented version coming in, but like I said, this one is lemon vanilla, and this both of these are lemon vanilla. And the person in my house that has been using this the most is my boyfriend, Scott. He is a huge fan of cocoa butter, and he has commandeered my lotion bar. So come pick up some of these Infused with Light lotion bars from Chris. They smell delicious, and they're an excellent gift. And am I talking about these two? I also have this in my project bag. You cannot have enough lotion bars in Colorado, and chapstick I have found as a transplant from the Midwest. These are from Love and Leche, which is Little Bee lotion bars. They are various different scents that we have. I know off the top of my head we have lavender, we have mint, and we also have unscented. I gifted a lot of these to my friends and family members for the holidays. These retail for $12.99. Christiana's checking for me. I believe they're $12.99, $12.95. What's really nice is the varying different types of scents. And, oh, yes, confirmation, $12.99. So these also pop out of the tin, and you rub it around in your hand like a bar of soap. And it's a nice hard wax. This one's a little bit softer than I would say the other one by Chris G, the Infused with Light. This one seems like it has maybe more beeswax in the base, so you can really rub it around there. And this one's going to be a little bit softer. So whichever your preference is, super handy to have in your all of your project bags and purses and cars and things. So Lotion Bars. All right, pass this off.
Yay, one last time. Darn it. Okay, there, I think we're all plugged in. So that was all that we had to show you guys tonight. I hope this inspires you to kind of take care of yourself and work on something that you want to work on, whether it's an accessory, a sweater, a sock, and just whatever makes you happy. So before we go tonight, just a couple more reminders about stuff. The sample sale is still going on. We still have a few items left up front on the display marked sample sale. The semi-annual sale did start today, and there are a lot of really cool things on sale, anywhere from 25 to 75% off. Bye, Mom! The new class schedule has been posted to the website, so if you're interested in learning something new or refreshing your skills, the classes are now up to date, and there's a lot of cool stuff coming up. And I just personally have to remind everybody that the Snowman Amigurumi class starts this Thursday at 5 o'clock, and when you sign up for the class, your fee also includes the yarn for his little carrot nose, the black yarn to embroider his smile, the eyes, and the stuffing. So the only supplies that you need are the hook, the pattern, the yarn for the body, and the yarn for his little accessories, his mittens, his scarf, and his hat. And if you want to sew buttons on the tummy, you do need to get your own buttons, but yeah, so that starts this Thursday, and I'm really excited about teaching amigurumi again. So yay! Well, I hope you guys all have a lovely evening. We will see you next week, and I bet you can't guess what I'm going to be talking about. I'm going to be talking about New Year's resolutions. So have a lovely rest of your Sunday, and we'll see you later. Bye.